All right. Hi, everybody.
Hello, bonjour.
Welcome, welcome. We are glad to welcome you to our very first live. This is a new experience for us, to say the least. I'm Brendan,
I'm Susie.
and together we are Chez Davis, which you know because you're watching this on our channel. So I just want to say thank you for being here, first of all. We don't have anyone live on this chat yet, which is not that surprising. But what we're going to do today, we're going to tell you about that. So, we are an expat family in France, first of all, to tell you a little bit about ourselves. I'm an American. Susie's from China. I met her when I lived in Beijing for several years. And then we talk about this on the channel extensively, but basically we reunited after a long COVID separation here in Paris and spent a few months in France, and we traveled around Europe. We went back to Beijing, and Susie found out she was pregnant. So we accelerated our move back. We moved here December 1, 2023. And we have residence cards and are here for the long haul. So what we're going to do today, the focus of this video is that we're reacting to your reactions to Susie's video about her experience at Alliance Francaise, and also to my video reacting to hers and also sharing my experiences, because our different cultural backgrounds made it very different for us. I mean, I agreed with probably about 80% of the things she said. I'm like, me too, me too, me too. But then there's some key differences. So we're going to react to your comments. We're going to do our best to answer questions that many of you have asked, and in some more detail versus what's actually, maybe what we had time to write in the comments on YouTube. And later we're going to dive into those top comments from across the channel as well. A lot of people have commented about other things, ask us other questions. So I have my notes here. So what we want to tell you is that our channel really has 5 different pillars. There is the cultural and language learning pillar. And so we'll have a lot more about French learning, Susie's journey with Duolingo, my journey with Duolingo. That's next. Those are our next language videos that we are working on. And the first one of those should be out sometime next week. But we also talk a lot about practical and logistical issues, everything from visas to housing and dealing with French bureaucracy and all of its many splendid colors, because there are many. We have a whole series talking about cost of living and day-to-day things, from groceries to rent to utility bills. We talk about also travel and Europe in general. And we've been lucky before the baby. We had a bunch of travels around Europe, and we have a lot to say and a lot of fun videos to share with that. Plus a lot of things here in Paris specifically, and also around France to the degree we've traveled. We've been basically to Normandy and Paris. We spent most of our time in or around Paris. So we will have something for everybody. So if you're here because of French language learning, you're probably also curious about some of these other aspects of things. So the last thing I want to mention before we sort of get into this is that we will be doing these lives, and then the replay is of course available, which is how most of you will see this. We're going to do these lives once a week for August. We've committed to that much at least, and we'll see how it goes, see if you like it, if you find it valuable, and I think we'll have fun doing it. We'll tell you in about an hour and a half, depending on how long this goes. But eventually that might become a membership perk once the channel is more established. But we're just building the channel, and we will always, if this is valuable, we'll always do something like this that's available for just anybody stumbling across us. So before we get into the reactions and the questions specifically, I did want to mention a few things. Susie and I were talking when we were prepping about, why we're doing this channel. Right? It's to help. It's fun to share our experience, but we also want to help you. And she was just saying to me a minute before we started, we were talking about how many people have helped us.
Yeah. We've been here 1.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
A little
bit more.
Yeah. We had so many challenges and difficult moments, but people's been helping us. Brandon's colleague, Eric, happened to be living in the same neighborhood. So we have so many times have troubles with with electricity, with water services, with IKEA customer services, and it's cash. Jenny's daycare, Jenny's daycare orientation. It always been Brendan's friend Eric being there for us, helping us no matter what. And my friend, I have a Faye, I have a Alina, and I have many friends here also. Sorry, nowadays I kind of mixing my Chinese, English, and French together.
Were you about to do a combination sentence?
Somehow there is a French word pop in somehow.
That's okay. That's why people have discovered us. You can throw some French in here for people.
So weird.
I do that all the time.
I also have my friends helping us here and there, and these days I've been doing a job interview lately. So I kind of a little stressed out about that. We will talk about the job hunting later. So basically, we had lots of help from our friends, the friends we made here.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that we can, have a certain way of giving back and help some our new friends or potential new friends wanting to come here or already here, but still have similar difficulties we had. We might be able to help you, and maybe one day we can hang out together and laugh about all these one day.
Yeah. And we already had one of our new friends. I've got it on a list that's not on the screen. But we already had in English, you'd say wine and cheese. His handle is Vin et Fromage, and I believe your name is Daniel. Don't be mad. I'm pulling this out of my aging memory. But we were chatting back and forth. He commented. He found us through some video and commented, and we've had a nice back and forth on here. And he's not in France now, but he mentions he wants to take me / us to lunch. I'm not sure if that was we were chatting, so he used the first person, but yeah, he absolutely, Daniel, Vin et Fromage. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. We're looking forward to it. And building on what Susie said, first of all, yes, I'm so lucky because, with me, I'm a professional filmmaker. I've been a producer mostly the last 20 something years, but I'm a writer, director, and a producer. And there's a project I've been developing here forever. That's its own story. But Eric is one of our local producers. He's like the line producer. So he's the guy who manages the bottom line. It's literally what that job means. If you see film credits, what's a line producer? Well, they manage the bottom line. They're kind of they work for the producers who have put the movie together and got the money, cast it, got who's managing the director or whatever. The line producer is the person who makes sure that everything works. And so he's awesome. It's so amazingly great to have made a friend because my partners from the US and we came here starting in early February 2019, and we've been back and forth a lot. So having made a really good friend of a awesome 35-year career line producer, it's great professionally and it's amazing, personally. And yeah, we've had them over. They've had us over a lot. Now that we've got the new place, we're having them over. So making friends is amazing. Building on what Susie said, you said it perfectly well. But I would just say that we happy to be your virtual friends and virtual guides through some of this more confusing stuff. Which is why I wanted to mention that we have all these other pillars of our channel besides just learning French. If you're learning French, you're interested in all kinds of things to do with France. Maybe you want to move here. Maybe you've moved here and you need to practice your French, improve it. But we have also learned a lot from YouTube. That's what motivated us to start this channel. There are a bunch of channels. I could rattle them off the top of my head, but I'm going to cheat and look at my on-screen list that I have because there are a bunch of channels that have helped us a lot and have given us so much great information, so much context, so much entertainment related to just a life in France and some cautionary tales. Les Frenchies, have to shout out Les Frenchies. They are far and away our favorite channel,
Mhm.
right? No contest, no offense to everybody else I'm going to mention, but just overall, of course, they're awesome. And if you're watching this, you know, Le Frenchies. We have also really enjoyed a younger channel, but excellent, Baguette Bound. Those folks are great. They have a somewhat similar experience. They're a family living in, I think, the southwest of France with a daughter who I believe is in middle school, so a little bit older, and they just moved here a couple of years ago. And then Jay Swanson, he's a single guy, but he's literally an American who's now a French citizen who's passed the test and everything. But there are also a lot of other channels, and I'm just going to give a quick shout out. Some of you came from one of these, many of you who are watching this came from one of these channels. So Lucille, her handle's Lucille HR. Love her stuff. Xiaoma NYC, who's an American who speaks fluent Chinese plus a bunch of languages. We have a very good friend in common, our friend from Beijing, Jesse Appel, who's this amazing American who's a Chinese language stand-up comedian.
Oh, that's young.
He also has a Jesse's Tea House. He specializes in bringing the finest Chinese tea to America. But he and Xiaoma are friends, so it's a small world. But Xiaoma's channel has been sending us a lot of, not him directly, but his channel's been sending you a lot of you here. There's a new channel called Chapters with Precious, and she's great. She's also just starting out. She has about the same number of subscribers we do at the moment. And we watched all your videos and really enjoy them. So nice job. Jay Swanson, I mentioned. Sophie Nadeau, and she has a wonderful channel traveling around showing you lots of different parts of Europe, interesting commentary. In terms of language learning, so many great channels, but Comment Française is amazing. And with Geraldine is the host of that channel. And Your Best French is another excellent French language learning channel that some of you know. Française Authentique. Fired Up in France with Susie, spelled S-U-Z-I, not like my wife. She has an excellent channel. Listen EF, so Easy French is what that stands for. And they chose that name because Easy French is also one of the channels that sends us traffic. Adeline Talks has a beautiful channel with trips that she takes all over France and talking about cultural things. And it's a very meditative and beautifully shot channel. I'm not sure who's shooting it with her, but you do a great job. Living Well in France is excellent. One of Susie's favorites.
That's my favorite. Learning French with Alexa.
Yeah,
I watched so many of her videos. Everything is perfectly done. It's just no unnecessary stuff. It's just I love it. Yeah, it's my kind of a rhythm.
Exactly. And the handle is Learn French with Alexa. Ariel in Paris has another, she's a travel vlogger. And Easy French, really happy that Easy French is sending a lot of you to us. At Frenchies, which is Alex and Tom.
They're so famous. They're everywhere.
They are everywhere. Two Parisians lost in the US, I see is their handle. Their videos are hilarious and awesome and fun. If you just want something fun and you don't want to try to, conjugate verbs, watch those guys. And Chase in French has been sending us some love as well, his channel. And then French and Elegant is another smaller channel, bigger than us, but this is all about lifestyle and etiquette and kind of the fancier parts of French life, which we don't really talk about because we're busy with a young baby. And I am Handyman. Good morning from Maryland, guys. Hi, thank you for joining us. I want to shout you out. I just saw that pop up in the chat. Yes, I am Handyman has been interacting a lot. So thank you for saying hi. Appreciate you getting up. I know it's late, man. It's really late or it's really early for you, I guess. But so we want to thank everybody. And
Maryland.
Yeah. Bonjour. East Coast. Yeah. Maryland is one of the states that, like, Washington D.C. is between like Maryland and Virginia. So without too much further ado, there are a lot of other commenters. And I don't believe I had the list handy, and sadly I closed the document, and I don't want to waste everybody's time by digging it up. But I do want to say there are a lot of people we're going to talk about in Susie's comments and our thoughts on this. But there are so many other people who didn't specifically come in. They came in before these Alliance Française videos. And And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's found the channel and finding it useful. And we've gotten so much great advice. We'll talk about all that in other videos. But for now, why don't we get into our deep dive? So let's talk about the reactions. So Susie, being an accountant, she's a U.S. registered CPA. She has an awesome Excel spreadsheet right off camera down here. So what are we talking about first, Susie?
First of all, I have to apologize to voyager with quite a lot of R in there. He or she said felt stressed just watching the video. Joking. Yeah, sorry that it has been very stressful 18 days for me, so I'm sorry. And the second one is Zozo, and she said for English speakers, it's easier to recognize many French words. So I totally agree, that's true. And later Brendan shared his experiences in the same courses in Alliance Française, and he has a very different experiences like I did.
Yeah, that's why we made if you haven't watched that video, that's really why we made two different videos instead of just like this format, because she has her own experience and I have my own. And being a native English speaker, a lot of people commented, there are a lot of comments I think Susie will get to that relate to this, but basically it's easier for a native English speaker. It's still hard for me. It's still hard, but it's a little easier for lots of reasons. And so if you haven't watched the video, if you have, I don't want to bore you with repeating it all now.
Okay. I do have an example of, I remember the second day we learned the word walk, permanent, permanent. Basically, I take a walk in the park. That word, promenade.
Right. Yeah, to promenade is the verb.
Yeah, it seems like easier for my American or other Western classmates in a classroom. It seems like everybody understands the word, but for me, I felt like it's first time for me to see the word, or maybe I learned that in a book. It's just not so common. It just I feel like I need to relearn again. But everybody seems like no big deal. I guess it's a common, maybe not common.
Well,
but
it's slightly, slightly fancier English, but like to the promenade or the promenade, if you're pronouncing it more like French, or what part of the country in the U.S. you're from, you pronounce it one or the other way. But yeah, that's basically like the big, wide, fancy kind of like main street that has like nice shops and it usually implies it's like pedestrian friendly, So when I lived in LA, I first moved to Santa Monica when I moved to LA in 2002, and I lived in Santa Monica for 6 years. And if you've ever visited Santa Monica, you know that the 3rd Street Promenade is one of the most iconic parts of Santa Monica, which is they basically closed off 3rd Street for 3 blocks, and it's just a walking, shopping, eating and drinking and having fun district, or it used to be. I don't know what's happened lately because I've been gone, but what else do you have over there?
And we have Bill Lin, still alive and kicking. Avico.
Yeah, just do your best, baby.
Hajna something. Oh, UK Bulldog.
UK Bulldog 2024.
Okay. Bonnie Lopez. Jean Common. Sois toi même. And etc. They all went to Alliance Française in all over the world. Some in Paris, some in UK, some Dublin, Bordeaux, Washington, D.C.
Oh, near I Am Handyman here.
Yeah?
I think your name is David, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to pull that on my memory. Sorry, I'm still learning people's names.
Yeah, and other places in the U.S. So it's just I feel a little amazing that somehow just people come up together because of like certain keywords, and then people can hang out from different space, different timing. It's like it's like time machine, like bring everything everybody all together at one place from different time.
Nice. Well, and you mentioned that we wanted to be sure to ask in this, or whoever watches this, if you have been to Alliance Francaise or looked at it in another city, even because it's different prices, different cities in France.
Yeah.
So let us know what the A1 intensive. I mean, if you took a different class, let us know about that. But specifically, if you took the A1 intensive at Alliance Francaise, we're curious what it cost you, and also, if it was a long time ago, I'm sure the price is different. So please let us know, and we'll share it with everybody, because that's interesting to look at.
And for comparison, the in Paris, Alliance Francaise A1, the rate is 20 euros per hour, close to. So I before our live chat, I did a quick search online. It seems like it is most expensive in France, but I'm not really sure if it is most expensive everywhere else compared to, because, for example, in New York, maybe the prices in London
could be
higher.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's as expensive or even more in another country, because they probably have to. There are plenty of native French speakers who've moved and lived those places, but I imagine it's probably comparable in those cities. But yeah, let us know in the comments if you know.
I think this piece of information is important. Gotta get
my cheaters here. What do we have?
Has an MC Graph. He said Bordeaux, Dublin and Bordeaux. I think Bordeaux is probably half the price
of Dublin
compared to Paris.
Oh, to Paris.
Yes,
that's right.
So it's a much more affordable, and Bordeaux is amazing. And if you want to come to France to just study French, I think that's amazing choice, because Paris is crowded, and you probably can have the same amount of money. You can live more comfortably and enjoy the wine and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we love it where we live here, but we're we're in the suburbs. We're 20 minutes to the center of Paris, but we're not in Paris, which is for a lot of reasons, and we talked about that in other videos. If you're curious, what else you have over here? Some of the comments and suggestions or your thoughts. Some suggestions from people.
Yeah.
Somebody there had a big suggestion about different ways to do this effectively.
Oh yeah, and Soixante-Trois Man says she rated B1 in the US Alliance Francaise, but only rated A2.
Oh, right.
Here. Oh. I don't know about their standard can be different, but it's possible.
Right.
Because here everybody speaks French, and the
standards higher.
Standards could be higher.
I would assume so. And I'm looking at one of these notes here that are these are your thoughts here? Yeah. So talk about this. What you think your suggestion for like a true beginner in A1? What do you? Let's get that in here early.
So. Okay. So basically, I have if I have money and time, my best case of scenario is formula. Best formula to learn French is that I would want an in-person group class for join the class, for practice, and for learning knowledge, for listening and heavy listening. And then if I can, I would like a private tutor for explaining the confusion, and even in-person practice dialogues, like what I've been doing with my husband. We would do dialogues whenever we have a moment. And number 3 is Duolingo for vocabularies. Enhance. Yeah, sure. Enhance. Sure. And number 4 is real life opportunity talks. And for example, if I go grocery shopping or buy clothes, I would have opportunities to ask staff there to help me. I would, yes, I can speak English because a lot of them young French people speak pretty good English. So I can choose ask them in French or ask them in English. But if I just tell myself I can do this, I would just quickly think about construct the sentences and even search in Google about the vocabularies I don't know or I suddenly I forgot. I can just quickly come up with a sentence and practice a little bit in my heart and come up to chat with them. This is this is one time, it's nothing, but you can do that. If you do that once a day, twice a day, within 2 months, you can see the difference. So that's the real life opportunities you can practice, and this is a really, really important because it's a little like playing tennis, right? When you play tennis, you at the beginning you probably can only kick it off, but later you feel like they kick back, and then you can kick it back again. So more rounds, and then with more practices you get better.
Right, absolutely. And I've been doing this a long time. I started this when I moved to China, and I won't get into all that right here now, but I mean, I had a private tutor because for a long time, well, for about 6 months, I had a private tutor, and that was great. But I'd been using Pimsleur before that, before I ever went to China the first time, which really, really helped my basic understanding, basic oral communication, to say, hello, please, thank you, where's the bathroom? I'd like a beer. How much is this, etc. So that was really useful, and I was using. Google wasn't blocked in China at the time. It got blocked later after I lived there for a while. But at the time, you could still use Google Translate, and so I would pull up my thing, and I'm listening, to like, oh, here's what I'm going to say, here's what I'm going to say, and then I would write what I'm asking a question, and I would try to ask very simple questions, and I still do this in French, of course. I would write my question and translate it to try to get that, and then okay, well, they're going to say this or this. And I would write that and like, well, here's what that sounds like. Here's what that sounds like if I didn't know it. And I still do that all the time, especially as things are getting more complicated. But what else do you? Who else
the
did you
last one
to that?
is ChatGPT.
Yes.
Oh, we love that so much, and I especially use ChatGPT to explain the grammars. And when it comes to vocabularies, I would try to find the word root. The root word. For example, I can give you an example. I couldn't tell the difference of champagne, company, which is countryside, and champignon. Champignon is mushroom. Right. I couldn't tell these three words, and I asked ChatGPT to dig me in about the word root, and apparently I thought because the mushroom, the word has a pig, pig in it. I was thinking, does it somehow relate to pig?
But they don't call the pig a pig in France. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true too. But it's just.
But so that's strange. The first thought that occurs to you.
So
it's the first thing that occurs
what
to you.
ChatGPT told me is pag is the root word is remote. It's really far away. That's why countryside and the drink champagne is really far away. So for me, I can remember that countryside is far away, and the drink, the places having the drink is far away. So the spelling has pag in it.
Okay.
But the mushroom champignon pig is pigment. So imagine pigment is a small. Colorful stuff everywhere, so that's mushroom. So I think only ChatGPT can help you with that, because if you search them on Google, imagine how much time you're going to spend on Google and digging different pages.
Yeah, you're reading through 20 pages and you put it together, and we use ChatGPT quite extensively. We had to figure out a carbon offset program or something for the impact, not to make light of that, but but it is incredibly useful for deep research. And I was going to talk about this more later, but again, just for the sake of it's on my mind now, is in one of our other videos, in my Americans Moving to France video. That video is really useful. I mean, my goal, it was targeted to Americans specifically, and so I spoke about some specifically US stuff, but that whole thing applies to anybody from anywhere. The same methods of how you, in this case, I do a whole case study of using ChatGPT, if you're not familiar with it or you're not kind of a power user of it, of how you can use it to game plan everything you've got to do. You know, all the steps related to getting a visa or administration, or how do I build a rental dossier, or how do I apply for healthcare. It's amazing in that way, because it'll break it down, give you links and references. And sometimes you have to double check those links and phone numbers, because sometimes it's pulling it out of a cached site and it's changed. But generally speaking, it has helped us to function at the level we function. Without it, or without having, like, I mean, I can't call Eric every day. You know, I really try to, like, not lean on poor Eric, too terribly much. And plus, you know, we want to learn. That's why we're here. So it is incredibly useful. But if someone is not from America, but they're thinking of a move to France, go ahead and watch that Americans Moving to France video. I did it to be useful for anybody. I just was speaking to Americans specifically. But what's next on the Susie color-coded hit list here?
Do a sum up, or like review one of my best scenario of learning French is in-person group class plus private tutor plus Duolingo for vocabulary plus real-life opportunity chat plus ChatGPT. The 5 factors of my formula. It's like I know people being always asking, is Duolingo only if I can speak French with only Duolingo? It's it's like eating a meal. You want some protein, you want some veggies, you want some drinks. You just, I guess people can just eat proteins. It's just it's not the most people's choice. I would say that. So it's everything. Every different ways help you improve in different areas.
Yeah, no notes. No notes. What's next on your list?
Next one, Aiko Snoop.
Aiko Snoops has been. She's part of the early people who came to the channel before these Lawrence Frances videos. Thank you for engaging, and we have a really nice kind of virtual online conversation going about a lot of different things. What did she specifically talk about? She mentioned that her sister-in-law, so her husband is French, so her sister-in-law taught French taught French as a foreign language at a school that I believe she said is no longer Lena, but I think she said it's no longer around, but it was like apparently where a bunch of diplomats and fancy people used to go learn French. What did she recommend there?
She recommends using images and writings and speakings. I agree that the group speaking practice part is heavily used in Alliance Francaise, because it's like role play. It's important. Right. You're going to use that no matter Zoom outside the school.
Absolutely.
And we have Silk Salmon.
Slick Salmon. Slick Salmon. Some numbers. Yes. Also a big interactor with us here.
And thank you. And I think I'd like to share more later. And then it's Xiang Hui Li Net.
Yeah, and they told us in the comments they're a Taiwanese American couple. And what did she said here?
She preferred to skip.
Oh,
I'm sorry if I give you the impression, but because that's possible, it could be for you. It can. Please also watch Brandon's experiences too, because it's my experience is just because my limitations, I would say, my situations. but it
your
could be for you.
background. Your background.
Yes. If you have some basics, you already have some French knowledges, you can go to Alliance Française. If not intensive classes, maybe semi-intensive.
Exactly. The semi-intensive is literally half the. It takes twice as long as half the pace.
Yeah, and it's you have more time
much more
to process.
Doable.
Because, to be honest, 18 days to learn A1 it's kind of, for me, it's like kind of like an illusion. But if you already have the knowledge of the A1, and it is a doable.
Yeah,
I mean, it is doable.
Yeah.
And usually for A1 in other schools, it's a 1 semester of work.
Right.
So which means 4 months. So in Alliance Française, if you take semi-intensive, that's a semester.
Right. The A1, it's 18 days spread out over 1 month. That's why they call it the 1 month intensive, but it's actually 18 class days. And yeah, it's called in. They say it right there in the title. It is intensive. That's for sure. So
I have to say that their website kind of gave me the, I by the time I checked their website, I think I doubted if I can finish that in 18 days, but because they have this graph, do you remember?
I do. Like the ladder of progress that you make.
If you just power through it, and you can finish A1 to B2 in 8 months, or a little less than 1 year, it's 10 months or something. It just give you the false hope to believe that you can from real beginner to finish that in 10 months.
Well, some people could do it. Maybe not us, but some people could do it.
Yeah, but if you put that on the website, it's just to be honest, for me, it's misleading.
Okay, don't sue us.
Okay. Oh, and for Xiang Hui Li Net, I do have the YouTube channel. I want to say that again. That's Alexa, Learn French with Alexa.
Yes, Learn French with Alexa.
Yeah, it's so good. She has so good materials for a beginner to learn French.
Yeah, Xian mentions specifically about she skipped Alliance Française. She has used YouTube plus cartoons plus Duolingo, and she also shared a lot of channels that are helpful, and Learn French with Alexa was one of hers, and several of the ones I mentioned are ones she included. She had some others as well. Look through our comments if you're here mainly because you're trying to look for other resources to learn French. Watch these videos. Check out all these channels we're mentioning, specifically the French language learning ones. But look through the comments. A lot of people have made so many great suggestions, and we appreciate it.
Okay, we have Anna Kozoris.
Anna Kozoris, I think. Again, apologies to everyone whose handle we can't pronounce. Some of them aren't meant to be pronounced. Some of them are just like a secret code for them and their friends. But that's probably her name, so apologies to Anna.
Yeah, she expressed she's learning 101, but still stuck at A1 level. I want to stress this one so much because I want to tell you that it's totally normal. It happens a lot. For a lot of students, they need to repeat one level over again. Like I said, learning French, a foreign language, is like driving. It's so much. It's every time I stuck somewhere, I feel like I remember the time when my dad teach me to drive. It takes so much of time, so much of a round of you made mistakes, you're hitting this pad, you made mistakes of hitting this and this, and so many stuff. It's all you need is time. Yeah. And you probably need, if 1 round is not enough, do that 2 rounds. And it's funny, I just had my A1 breakthrough this year. How I made my breakthrough is that in my current school, I used to only go to 1 courses, but I feel like I want to, because it's far to go to Paris because we live in the suburbs. So every time I take 1 hour to go there and take 1.5 hour courses, and I take a 1 hour train back. So for me, it not worth it that much. So I decide to take 2 courses every day. So I would have 3 hours there, and I take the same courses. At the beginning I take A2. I sign up. I was taking A1, and I sign up for another A2 classes just to have more opportunities to listen. And then after a few days, I realized I couldn't keep up. I don't understand. I couldn't follow. So I switched the second one to A1 too. So basically, I end up with a 2 A1 classes. This arrangement helped me break through my A1 courses. I finally understand what French people talking about, because in my first A1 classes, I could get confused. I don't know what it's about, and I need to do a little bit of review after the class to know what they teach me. But in the second class, since I already know what is happening, so I can pay attention to the verb, to the words my teachers say. So I would connect the real life scenario to the verbs, to the vocabularies. So it's that eventually helped me have my A1 breakthrough. I have a 2 A1 classes back to back, so that I can actually use my French I just learned. So it's it's language. Not you can only know it after you can only really know it after you can use it. So basically, you use it, you know it.
Absolutely. And specifically, I know that it was the same course outline, but different instructors, and they had their own teaching methodology. So she wasn't doing the exact same lesson like morning and then afternoon. It was the same. It covered all the same stuff, but not always totally synced. So it helped her really swim in it. And I want to say hi. Ika Snoops just joined us. We just talked about you and how awesome you are, and you've been here with us from basically the beginning. You might have been the first comment, possibly. You were one of the very first comments ever on the channel. So big shout out and thank you. And Xianwei Liner.
Oh, we just
literally I think, I don't know if you heard us, but we just were talking about you when you popped on. So hi to everybody. And let's kind of take them in chunks once we get into this. But so Heather Whittington.
Oh yeah,
I want to mention that.
Yeah, I want to stress Heather Whittington's comments. She's she wants to know more about dancing in Paris.
What in American we call dim sum.
Yeah, and I'm speaking Mandarin. So.
I know. Well, I'm trying to translate for the Lao Wai.
Okay.
For the Lao Wai.
Yeah, we will do that more about the food scenarios in Paris later more. But what I can tell you right now is, I think Paris is the best Chinese food in the whole Europe. From
what we've seen, and people keep telling us that people who have traveled have said, it's like, oh yeah, no, Paris is the place for Chinese food. And so, okay,
yeah,
what we've had has generally been pretty awesome.
I have friends in UK, in London. They just come to Paris to have Chinese food.
Wow, that's
nice.
The
Chinese food coming here for Chinese food is one of their very important schedule here. So not just the food quality, but also the variety. You basically can find all different kinds of Chinese food here in Paris. And besides the besides the restaurant scenario, we have it's easy to get Chinese groceries here too. If you want to cook
A
something,
lot of markets. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Chen Market, and there's the other chain that's so big that one of the one of our people watching might know this, but yeah, there are a lot of resources for really good Chinese markets. We have behind it. There's a drawer full of, well, it's less full than it needs to be. We need to stock up, but it's full of, like, among other things, like Chinese spices, specialty mixes. We've got a fun sort of like bonus video that's one of those, like, apropos of nothing, to use a little French English phrase. We made hot pot for the first time. I think the first time in this new house. We did it outside this last Sunday, and I made a video of it because I knew it was going to be a big setup. And I'm like, this would be fun for people. But we have, like, the Haidi Lao, which is a very popular Chinese restaurant brand. And we have, like, the Haidi Lao. The spicy sauce is what I used on the spicy side of the pot. Anyway, you can find everything you want here pretty much.
Yeah. And not only Chinese market, the market, we can also order online. There are Chinese.
Oh yeah, Weijia is awesome. Weijia is like it's like Amazon for Asian food deliveries to your house, and they cover, like, all sort of quote unquote Asian foods. But Aiko just said that she saw a YouTube video about a Uyghur restaurant in Paris. We love Uyghur food. Oh my God, there was a place my old apartment. We didn't live together in Beijing prior to now. My old apartment went away during COVID. She moved me out during the pandemic and supervised to move out and put my stuff in storage. That's its own video. We don't have video of it, but that's its own video. But there was a Uyghur restaurant in the mall next to my apartment development, and man, that place was so good. So damn good. I could eat that. I could eat it about I did eat it probably. We definitely eat it every week. I ate it almost every week, but I mean, I could probably eat it about every other day because the chuar, the skewers, the lamb skewers. Anyway,
yeah,
I'm getting hungry. I'm on day 3. I've decided to go back to being keto boy, which you don't know anything about, but I gotten way too chunky, and I'm on day 3 of a fast. I've had no calories at all, not 1 calorie since Sunday night. So pardon me if I'm a little goofy, but all this food talk's making me. Let's talk about something else. I'm not eating until dinner tonight, so let's.
I realized I didn't introduce myself. I'm from my hometown.
Oh, you didn't talk about
I'm
Ordos.
from China, but I'm from in Mongolia.
Right.
People doesn't really know about the difference of Mongolia and in Mongolia. But in Mongolia is one state in China. So food-wise, we have lots of meat. We have beef and lamb, and
that lamb is the best.
We have
the best.
We have potatoes.
Yes.
We don't have much of vegetables. When I was a kid, we only have potatoes and I guess cabbage.
Well,
cabbage.
It's up there. It's Inner Mongolia. For people who don't know, is the China side where you go across the border and then you're in Mongolia proper, and so it's desert. Like it's a lot of desert dope. I mean, Mongolia has every kind of thing, grasslands and whatever, but that part of Mongolia and then Inner Mongolia is pretty heavily desert. It's like irrigated desert where they grow stuff. Yeah. So kind of like California, like Los Angeles is an irrigated desert. Yeah. I mean, not much would grow there besides weeds if you didn't actually bring in the water and make the effort.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I never see like in the Mongolian restaurant, even Mongolian restaurant here, I never see that. But Xinjiang, the Uyghur restaurant, I can't see it's similar, but it's a heavily meat. It's a very meaty, which I like it, which is closer to the food we're having in Mongolia.
Yeah. Yeah. And let me quickly say also, if any of you in the chat have questions, feel free to pipe up as well. Because I mean, so those of you who join later, We have Susie's spreadsheet where it's all organized, color-coded because of her being an awesome CPA planner type. So questions are grouped, comments are grouped in kind of coded chunks where people are asking about a certain thing. But also, I mean, if you have questions, we'll at the end of this too, depending on who's online with us live at the moment, we'll ask again. But if you have questions along the way, feel free to please pop up.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else do we have here on our hit list?
We have Lisa, Valentine, Holly Wick, Tani
Francoeur, I believe is maybe how you say that. Yeah.
RHJ. They are curious about my new school. But before that,
their question.
Lisa and Holly Wick, they ask about the discount of AF.
Right. So Alliance Française, when we were in, I want to say the last week, it might have been earlier, but they came to us and they let us know. We got a code, we got it in our emails, I got a piece of paper. I'm not sure if you got a piece of paper handed to you, but they want to make sure to let you know that if you sign up before, it was a short time range, but basically you had X amount of time that you could get a 10% discount on, I think the next term's class. Maybe it applied to a future class, but you had to use the coupon. Maybe you could pay for a later class, but they offered a 10% discount coupon to everybody. So that was cool. That was a question several people had. And then they asked about your new school. And I want to clarify, because in my video, we're still not 100,000% sure if what the ruling is on this. I mean, it's Centre France Asia.
Yeah, let me talk about my new school. The name of the school is Centre France Asia. It is a nonprofit organization. It's a church-based. It's been more than 100 years, I think, or a little less than 100 years. So their mission is to help Asians to integrate into France. So because I took two courses every day, I can tell you. Let me introduce my professors, my teachers. I forgot. Sorry. All our teachers are volunteers.
Oh, right.
So they do not take any euros. They work for free, and they're so passionate. Because they're not professional teachers, so they might be not. They might be a little different, because you go to Alliance Française, they have their fast. They
have got
really fast. They know what to do, because they teach that so many years. They can teach, close their eyes, I think.
Well, and actually, Aiko Snoops is asking, is the teaching method different in the new school since it's geared toward people from Asian countries? So wrap that into your answer, please.
It's much more slower. In Alliance Française, they have new classes every month, but in my school, it's a semester. Most schools, I think, in France is based on semesters. If you can join every September or every January. In my school specifically, it's a kind of a yearly basis. You can join every September. September is a new for fresh new term. Yeah. If you join on I would say January, you lost half of the courses. You don't know. You probably can keep up. You probably couldn't.
But it's better to start in the fall, basically.
Yeah. Like I said, A1 usually in most schools is one semester, which is 3-4 months. But in my school, A1 is 1 year. So it's really slow, because it's 1.5 hours a day, 5 days a week. And it's 1 year. That's A1. And before A1, Asian students has to go to A1.1. That is a prep. It's like prep school of A1. You have to spend 1 year of A1.1, and then 1 year of A1, and then B1 for a whole year, and that A2 for a whole year, and B1. They only have from A1.1 to B1. They don't do B2. Yeah.
At your school.
Yeah,
Right.
but my school is slow, but it's very strict. It's like what's her name? Oh, Swastoi mem. Similar to her experiences, my school is so strict. I have my classmates. We're doing before we did our A1 texts exams, final exams. She already passed her A2 outside the DEF, the famous
test.
DEF tests. So basically, in my school, it's a more strict. You can imagine Asians. You know, you're supposed to be academically
okay.
well.
So I'm not going to throw out any cultural. We'll do that offline where we make assumptions about each other. But I'll keep that off the internet. It's a positive thing. It's a positive. Yeah, the work ethic and everything. Yeah. But also, and I talked about this in my video a lot about why Alliance Française in general learning French is easier for Western speakers, and I had a lot of people say yes. So,
my new school. But can I add something more?
Finish the thought. There's the middle of a sentence. Welcome to our life. Welcome to our life. I'm actually in the middle of trying to make a point.
Okay.
Which I've now forgotten. Your work here is done. Yes, Susie, please continue talking about whatever you were thinking about instead of listening to me.
I'm just trying to.
Before you
go to the next chapter.
I wasn't. I was trying to value add to the thought about that. But go ahead.
Okay.
Please.
I
implore you.
It occurs to me that I would like to tell you more about my classmates, so you can have some ideas of my new school and compare it to other schools. I told you I have 2 courses.
Yeah, that's what I was actually getting at.
Yeah, every day. So first classes starts from 8:30. So most of my classmates works. So even before the first class is finished, half of the classmates are gone. They need to go to work. They just take the morning time to practice their French. And a lot of them, to be honest, they used to study here in France as a college students, but they just want the environment to listen more, to practice. But if they go to take the course tests, they're already pretty good. So that's my first class, and my lots of my classmates are work in restaurants or do medicare or the masseuse. So it's common for Asians to do such work in I guess in Western countries in France. And my second class is much more different. My second class starts from 10 a.m. So a lot of them are stay-home mom. So they because they need to prepare their kids before school. They need to send the kids to school, and then they after we study French, they need to go home and cook lunch. So between 10 a.m. to 11:30 is a perfect window for a stay-home mom to come out to learn some French. So
this is the window when our daughter Jenny is at daycare, so that's why we're doing this at this specific time, because this is this is really our magic window. This is within our window. Yeah, and
both my 2 classes, lots of them stayed in France for more than 6, 7, even 10 years. I just like to tell you that it doesn't mean that if you stay here long enough, you can magically pick up the language. You need spend your time really seriously, sit down and learn. You can study by yourself or go to school or find a tutor. But you need to be serious about your language learning and just power through it in 2 years, 3 years, and grab the language and help with your life or career.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And before Brandon say the next.
I'm just trying to add to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to say that if it's not my husband, I couldn't take 2 courses. it's been Brandon.
Oh, I'm getting a compliment here. I'm sorry. Let me take all the time you need here, please.
It's Brandon taking.
We're recording this, I think. Yeah.
Prepare taking Jenny to school every morning so that I can go to the city to take 2 courses. Otherwise, it's not possible. So,
you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, baby. Love you. Yeah, Aiko had mentioned B1 is fairly high. So going back to Alon's friend says will be much easier. Yeah, if you did want to do that, at a certain point. I was going to mention the one last thing about Susie's school before we move on here is that it's a lot cheaper. I think, what is it, 300 euros a semester per class?
Oh, it's
or 280?
My current school?
Yeah.
It's close to free. It's close to free. It's 1 month is 60 euros.
Oh yeah, they do it by so it's like at 180 per semester.
Like 60 euros. Let's see how many hours. It's 1.5 hours per day, 5 days a week. So let's see, it's 4 weeks. It's 30 hours a month. 60. Yeah, 2 euros per hour. Yeah,
that's what it breaks down to. So the Center France Asia is really affordable. What I wanted to clarify for people is I was in the impression I did not see any other Westerners in terms of student types when I went to the 2 events I went with Susie. But from looking at the website, I didn't think it was limited to only Asian students. Maybe it is. To be determined. We'll circle back on that. We'll put something in the comments once this goes live. This will go live tomorrow. We'll actually probably clean this up and fix the transcript from all of the, we'll clean up the transcript of this, and then we'll make this live if you're watching this on the replay. And so we should also put in the comments things that occur to us as we're talking.
Yeah, I currently am on summer vacation, summer break in my school. I think I can ask. Ask next time when I go to school. Yeah.
Because they're not teaching in Chinese. They're teaching in French.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if
English
you have an Asian face, you definitely can go. Even you have a French passport. So some of the students I know, they join the French citizenship, but they still wants to practice their French. That's.
Oh, they already have their citizenship.
As a few, I think.
Okay.
But if you're white, some from other white Americans.
We're the same. We're like
white Americans.
Basically, I know what you mean. I know. Yeah,
what you mean. You can try. They're so nice.
I love their teachers. So nice. I had a little passing comment, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Good people, really nice people all around. So, what's next?
Next.
Sorry, I can't take the director hat off. I'm like, okay, we'll probably go another hour at this rate, and that's cool. But I want to make sure we get through all these things she has highlighted because we've got a lot here.
We have Patricia.
Yeah, Patricia Ingraldi, I believe is how you say that. Probably.
4719.
Can we just summarize and say a chunk of people? Patricia Ingraldi, Mood Beast, French Ready Avec Fanny, and then William B. 8394. They all ask questions related to Duolingo. So, what do you think?
I would totally agree that Duolingo can't replace real practices.
Yeah, Patricia, I see because she copied the comments. So Patricia is saying that she's used Duolingo for 7 years. Listening's still weak. She can't understand movies. A Mood Beast says AI and apps cannot replace real practice. Totally agree. French Ready Avec Fanny, Duolingo and AI can't replace a teacher. Yes. Alliance Friend says helps beginners speak, and especially the in-person part of that. Although it was, we had different levels of experience of how hard it was. It was still hard for me, and that was what was so useful, was being in that group. And then she gets that from her new school, because as much as we use Duolingo. Susie said this earlier in the video, so if you're joining this at a different point, we've already covered this a bit. But basically, Duolingo is awesome for drilling vocabulary. And big fan of it for that reason, but you definitely need you need several other things to actually grab this language and make it your own.
Yeah. I know some people complaining Duolingo is too slow, too repetitive.
Yeah.
But don't you think that's what you need to remember vocabularies?
To me, that's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah.
Is that it's so repetitive.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I like about it, is that
until you reach certain level, you don't need to use a Duolingo to it could be one day being a waste of a time. Probably one day you need to switch to shows, you need to switch newspapers. I mean,
old people and me sometimes. Well, anyway.
Yeah, my husband reads newspapers sometimes. He has newspapers in the bathroom.
Where else do you have time to read the newspaper?
So maybe one day Duolingo is not for you anymore. Maybe you need more shows, more books.
Yeah.
Brendan has some easy French books. And maybe one day books is your thing instead of Duolingo.
Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of the Little Free Library concept from the US. And of course, it's called something different here in French. But there are a few of them around here. There's one near a school in that direction that always has an awesome selection. And so I'm always going in there and seeing what they've got. And I've gotten some really cool books. It's stuff I can't remotely approach now, but just some things I want on the shelf, some nice leather books. It's kind of the neighborhood gets nicer and nicer and nicer. So going in that direction and finding the Little Free Library and going, I won't be greedy and take like an armload of books, but and just today, there's one near our bus stop that we take Jenny to daycare. And that one's a lot more picked over. It's in a really high traffic area, kind of a little more industrial, a little more commercial. But I found a Stephen King book in French that I'm like, I love Stephen King, but he's writing it sort of like a, high school. I mean, he's a graduate level mind, but he's writing his stuff aimed at people, maybe 10th grade level, I'm guessing. So anyway, I figured, I could probably make my way through this with the translator in this hand and the book in this hand. So
we have Carrie B.
Cappy Benton.
Cappy Benton.
Mm-hmm.
This one says finished a 4-week A1 class after Duolingo.
Mm-hmm.
And I would recommend the same thing.
Yeah. How long had you been? We were trying to get our thoughts together. When did you officially start Duo before you did?
I finished half of the A1. Half of the Duolingo A1 exercises before I go to that's.
Before you started Alliance Princess.
That gave me some confidence to go there, because you to be honest, if you have to take, because of you that's the only time you have. If you have to go to Alliance Française A1 intensive classes, be prepared. It's either you need you learn that in school or something, or at least some vocabularies from Duolingos.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, we both talked about it in our Alliance Française videos. We got Duolingo videos coming up next. Those are on the to shoot list, like this week. But so we'll get into this, and we'll also compare and contrast Duolingo and Alliance Française. So this will be an iterative part of our channel, is continuing to build on that, and so it will assume people have heard some of this from us already. But yeah, Duolingo for me, I had been using it, I want to say about 3 years prior. I started in the early days of the pandemic because I've been planning to come to France for a long time. So I started sometime in 2020. And so I've been using Duolingo, but Susie is what are you, like level 80 or 78 or something? I'm like three lessons below level 24. So she's light years past me in Duolingo.
I've
been using it a lot longer.
I finished 1/4 of the B1 exercises, but
very jealous.
But
I'm almost halfway through
those
A1.
numbers doesn't mean anything. Let me give you a real example. When me and Brendan we chatting with Jenny's daycare staff, directors, and other
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon's always getting more information from like 2 minutes, 5 minutes chatting. I can't just I have no idea how much time I need to study French to reach his level. So,
well, I think part of it too is, and maybe this is, I mean, again, personal experience that may be applicable to you watching. For me, at least, because I studied Spanish in high school and college. I talked about that in my video and how that helps with French. But I'm also, and I lived a long time in Los Angeles, which is very bilingual. A lot of Spanish spoken all the time. So I am used to hearing people with accents speak English, and I'm used to hearing some language that's not my language. And then I moved to China, and I started studying Chinese in 2012, using Pimsleur. And then I had Rosetta Stone, which I hated. And I won't do a video about them because I don't use them and I don't like them. I know it's great for some people. Please comment why the new version is awesome. And oh my God, you got to check it out. Tell us that if that's your experience, but I did not like it for Chinese. But anyway, I'm used to also trying to understand it because, again, Chinese is a tonal language, and so you might know phonetically what you think you're supposed to say, but if you don't get the tone right, you're saying something else. So my ear, like with English, we have all kinds of accents. I mean, we have like the Southern accent where people's parents were related prior to marriage. We have that. We have I have kind of a California neutral with a little bit of an Atlanta accent that creeps in. You have East Coast. So many accents, but the words are the words. The vocabulary, the words mean what the words mean. If you say it with some different inflection, that doesn't change what the word means. Maybe that makes it a question, but it doesn't change what the word means. And so I'm used to like, what did they say?
I have to say the first months we came to France, I was so confused. I don't understand French people. I didn't understand French people speak English. Remember the nurses in hospital? They're speaking English. I have no idea what they're talking about. The first half year fast, even the first year, I learned French. I couldn't understand my husband speaking French because he's French, has a English accent. So I just
guilty.
It's just so. But now with I learned more French. I know how French people speak French. Makes me understand more French people speak English because their way of certain letters they pronounce it.
Yeah, no, it goes. Nothing beats in terms of immersion. Move here if you want to get good at French. Move to France. That's the best way to do it. I would suggest a lot of people basically said thank you. Do you mind if I sort of summarize a bit because we have another chunk here? Oh no. Okay, where are we? We're getting toward the bottom of the things that we specifically wanted to call out from this, but. Constant Nothing wants to see you review the next level course. You'll get it when we take it at Alliance Française. But as Susie moves into A2, she can talk about her new school anyway, because we'll do videos all about her experience at the new school. We had several people, including Francis Jacquard, if I'm saying your name right, says he's a 71-year-old retired French teacher and basically says AF is a whole bunch of hokey, but it's a bunch of business and advises using AI and self-study and social practice. And so we second a lot of that. Bella Zaraf, I believe, says intensive classes are too demanding for most people, suggests a slower pace. And again, it's what worked for Susie.
The semi-intensive is good if you want to take audience.
Iko Snoops, thank you. Iko Snoops is helping us. I hope people watching hit the like and subscribe button if they haven't already. Thank you, because we are trying to build the channel. We got 3 mouths to feed over here, and if we can eventually get monetized, that'd be awesome. But mostly it just lets us know that we're doing something. Like, thank you for that. Note to fellow viewers now or in the future, and for reminding us that we should say that. I didn't say that at the beginning. But several people mentioned basically there are lots of nice compliments. Great. Susie was like, glad I could help. Glad I can help. Lots of thanking Susie for explaining it, breaking it down. Someone said that they decided to skip Alliance Francaise and hire a private tutor. If you can hire a private tutor, good for you. I mean, that'll probably help fast track you. Someone brought up the question, does Alliance Francaise help us? Citizenship is our question. We don't know about that. Someone commented, Ms. Deb B1, Ms. Des B1, if I'm saying that right, mentioned that I assume she's a Ms. with the name. I'm going to make that assumption. Pardon me if I misgender you, but said that she heard that Alliance Francaise looks good on your French citizenship application. I imagine it doesn't hurt. It certainly can't hurt. Oh, hi, Patricia. Aiko and Snooze for our two dogs. Yes, I was just referring to you. I'm referring to people by the username, but I don't know. But Patricia, very nice to properly meet you. So thank you. So, sorry, I were past tense. May they rest in doggy heavenly peace. If that is the case that I'm inferring correctly. What else do you see here? There are so many great comments that we could literally do this for 24 hours.
I think it's
that's a good question.
It's possible
we need to
because
look into that.
There are so many schools in Paris. There might be not that much in other countries and cities, but this is the France, and you have so many schools here. But if you pick Alliance Francaise, everybody know they're serious about teaching,
right?
Passing on the language,
right.
the culture. So if you have that in your learning, like history, it's people know you're serious about.
It shows you're serious enough to seek out what's as far as like a big school that's globally distributed. One of the best, and everybody knows it's not cheap in Paris. So they know you're serious. I want to say hi, Michael, Thailand. Hello, I'm French. I live in Thailand. Hi, where do you live in Thailand? I've been to Bangkok a couple times. Have a buddy who had moved there. American, a guy from Delaware who I knew in Beijing who moved to Bangkok with his wife. His wife worked for the U.S. Embassy in Thailand.
Sure.
And I have a film producer friend who half his year he's either in Beverly Hills or he's living mostly in Bangkok. But they shoot. A friend of mine is a very successful producer of like these kind of lower budget, like these lower budget action films where you see the poster and you see in the big print, it's got like the big print says Stallone, and then in little print above it says Frank. So, these movies where they get people and it's like, it's not so much, it's like his brother, who's also an actor and he does B movies. They made some really fun movies I've enjoyed, and he's had a bunch of hits, and he has a nice house in Beverly Hills. So I can't throw any shade at my friend, but anyway, Michael says he lives in Isan. Am I saying that remotely correct, Michael? Isan in the countryside. I bet that's nice. What part of the countryside? Let us know as we bounce between the spreadsheet and looking at the chat. Let us know where that is in Thailand. Oh yeah, I want to mention this one specifically. Someone named MVK3000 said they recently retired. They've been using the old Yale French in Action series to learn from, and also other free resources and AI, and they really stress they believe motivation matters more than anything. And I kind of agree. I mean, I think there's so many things that are free online, right? All these videos at the beginning of the video, if you're joining us later, we already name checked a ton of channels we love. And those will all be, when this goes live, when this goes live as a recorded video, you'll be able to see that. We'll actually link some of the ones that we just have to give an extra applause to, that we recommend for everybody, which a lot of you know already, but some people will discover it. Oh, Michael's saying congratulations to you for learning French.
Aww,
so
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. That's very nice. I'm very proud of her, and she's doing awesome, and we're both working on it, but she's the super serious student in the family at this point, because I'm helping to run a YouTube channel.
He's my private tutor now.
Yeah, we practice. We talk about
Every
that in the
day.
video with
The book is
it's
here.
right. It's like behind us. The dialogues on grammar. Such a great resource. And then, oh, that's really nice. Well, why don't you talk about this one here?
This is a new.
Looks like Mariah HY
Mariah
123.
HY 123. This is our newest comments, and she asked about the logistics of housing, host family options.
Yeah, related to going to Alliance Friend Says, and I wrote a big comment about it where she had said, I wish about regarding Alliance Friend Says, she said, I wish you had said more about logistics of things like housing, host family options, and if you had the same teacher the whole time. So I addressed that in those comments, but to save you from digging, if you're just watching this, we didn't talk about housing because it really is geared. I mean, there are people who come here, but Alliance Friend Says is not like a boarding school. You know, you don't get a room with your tuition or have an option for a room. But I'm pretty sure they probably have an office for referrals. I'm sure they have some referrals, but there are all kinds of places where you can find, whether you get an Airbnb, there are other places. Airbnb's fine, but there are lots of very specific French. There's Paris Attitude. There are a lot of places that have short-term rentals that you can find. Morning croissant, le croissant de la matin. Sorry. So Michael was just complimenting on where you can make mistakes or being ridiculous. I think I just did both, right?
Oh,
I just did both. But go ahead.
Yeah. Would you tell people, how did we find our first, second, third, even the one we live in the winter?
Sure.
With a great family. Sure. When did we find all these 4 places? The website. Referral.
Let me wrap that in. That's a good interjection. Let me wrap that into what I'm saying is that. So regarding that question specifically that I'm trying to answer from Mariah, Mariah. You can find lots of places, short-term rental companies, etc. And, there are homestay agencies. If you want to come here long-term, there are a lot of them that are geared to, so just search Homestay Paris and just pop that in the Google machine and you will find lots of homestay websites. We will end up putting some recommendations in. We did have the same primary teacher in I took the Alliance Friend Says a month after Susie, different teachers, different experiences. I had a substitute a few times when my teacher had some absence for some reason, but you do have the one teacher. But to Susie's point, the super short version of this, we have a whole long video that's like this is going to be. This will go on besides our live tab, this video will be archived in our Chez Davis Deep Cuts series, which are longer videos, less edited in terms of lots of what in the business we call B-roll, the pretty pictures on top of people talking that keep it visually interesting. So the Deep Cuts series is not heavily B-roll edited, doesn't have tons of pretty pictures, but we have a video on there. The big long one, it says like raw 1 hour, 40-minute moving vlog. There's tons of shots of the old place, the new place. We don't have a bunch of footage. There's 1 or 2 clips within other videos here of that first place. So the first place we landed, I had booked us when we first reunited before we got married. We reunited and went to Denmark and got married. We landed in a hotel for a couple of days, Pinta Hotel by the Charles de Gaulle airport. But we found a place through an agency called Paris Attitude, the place in the 18th. And our neighbors, the people who owned the apartment were also our neighbors, this lovely older Greek couple. They were really sweet.
So sweet.
They would bring us, little cakes and Greek coffee, which rocket fuel. It's awesome. It's like Turkish coffee or these other super strong, amazing coffees. We're big fans. And then I used Airbnb, we used Airbnb to find like the place we moved to in Normandy and the place we stayed in Porto and the place we stayed in the English countryside and the place we stayed in London for a week before we went back to China. And then when we moved here, Airbnb again, I looked at all these sites that I've mentioned and more, and we found When we moved back here, we found this great place for 2 months. We talk about this in the Having a Baby in France video. A great place in the 16th, near the maternity,
Oh, that's
near
the
the
Airbnb?
doctor. That was through Airbnb. Yes, it's a company called, I don't want to promote them because I didn't really love the company, but it's a company that has their listings on Airbnb.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
management company that also lists on Airbnb. I don't want to mention them. But we were there for 2 months. The place was great. Anyway, we were there, and then I found our place in Champagny-sur-Marne on Airbnb, and then this rental. Now that we're localized, right? We lived here 15. We were at our old place in 15 months. So by now we've learned all the rental websites, and so we found this place. We saw it listed on basically Seloger and Le Bon Coin, and then there's pap.fr are the main rental websites. And we saw this same place listed a couple of different places, but then it's basically connecting to the Asians because this is a house, so it's technically a pavilion. It's in America, you call it a duplex, but it doesn't feel, it feels like its own house. It's just this long building that's actually, I guess, divided in two, but yards are separate and everything. So we've never even met our neighbor. We've tried. We invited her to our housewarming party. We stuck a little thing in her mailbox when we had a bunch of friends over, and whatever, that's fine. French are different culturally. Michael could probably agree. It's not a negative. I don't mean it as a negative. It's just a different experience. So yeah, I addressed what you asked me to address. So Susie has. So we're kind of going to wrap up.
I'd like to stress Helen.
Oh, sorry, I missed that one. Apologies.
I sure would. Helen, I sure would.
Helen Isherwood, I think is her name. Is my guess.
Okay. She suggests 30 minutes of news daily. And I do have a friend from my current school. She's already graduated, and she told me she finally can understand the 8 p.m. news.
That's a big milestone.
Yeah, she finished B2, and which doesn't mean you can just understand it, but it needs some time. It's with the vocabularies, with that amount of practices you prepared so many years, and I think B1, B2, you can try to listening French news, and I think news is probably a better study materials than Duolingo by then. I think
you're right. Well, so we're through the comments recap. So Susie has a list of insights from kind of the summary of all these questions and comments, and I just want to say that because we're running long, we will address a lot of questions that are from the other videos. We were going to fit that in today if we were short, and then here we are. Appreciate you being with us. We'll wrap up in less than 10 minutes with this, but we will be doing these. If you joined us late, I see Patricia asked, have you found a good Asian supermarket for ingredients from your part of Asia? Well, we can get a lot of spices and stuff. If you mean specifically like Inner Mongolia,
Asian for
like from Asia, do you feel like you get what you need? We don't really cook. Let me give the context that Susie's not in here cooking. She's experimenting with cooking dumplings and pasta. We don't cook a ton of. We do hot pot, but we do raclette. Behind us, literally, you see there's the top of the hot pot. You can't see it, but there's an raclette machine. There's an Instant Pot. There's an air fryer. We don't cook super Asian or super. We have a big mix of stuff, but ingredients wise,
I think for your part of Asia means my country, I guess.
Well,
China.
Well, China specifically.
I think there are good and bad parts of Asian market or Chinese markets here.
Right.
The good part is that basically I can find anything I want. The bad part is that because it's the inventory turnover is not fast enough. So we kind of need to pay a little attention about the expiration date.
Check those expiry dates.
So,
you know what I mean?
Because every time we go to these markets are not so convenient to us specifically.
Yeah.
But every time I go there, I would buy as much as I can, just fall in my bag. But we couldn't just finish all those fast enough. So maybe next time I check, it's already expired a long time ago.
I'll even show you. Like you can't see in this. Don't tilt the camera but like we have from Asia, we have all these packs of different hot pot soups, mostly spices, because we make the non-spicy one. We make that. We make that ourselves, basically, with tomato sauce and oh, it's funny. People may appreciate. Maybe it's funny. Who makes the hot pot around this house?
The American in-house making Chinese hot pot.
Yeah, I'm the guy who makes the hot pot. So
I'm the guy making American.
Barbecue
ribs.
Yeah, she makes barbecue ribs. I make hot pot, and I make Expat, and and we do. Oh, and who makes the chuar? We do our version, which is skewers. Who makes the chuar around here, Susie?
The American in this family.
Yeah, it's a good collaboration. But it's nice, and it's I enjoy it. I enjoy being able to make things that we both love. Let me see, Patricia threw another one on here. There's a young woman from Vietnam named it's probably pronounced Wen, I guess, on YouTube, lives in Germany, who hates German food and complains. I don't know if I've subscribed to her or we. Like I have a personal channel too. That's me as a filmmaker and kind of my catch-all for my weird little my non-commercial creative endeavors. I have just Brendan Davis, whatever. It's I'll put the link in the comments if anybody's curious about that. But I think maybe I've seen her. She complains about, she hates German food and complains about the lack of good food in supermarkets. Patricia, sorry, our old landlord was named Patricia. So I've gotten used to saying the name that way. Maybe you say it Patricia, but that's how I grew up saying that name. But earlier in the chat here, earlier in the video, we talked about specifically there's a delivery service called Waysia, Waysia, which is awesome. And that's where we get, I think that's where we got the spice, the hot pot stuff I just showed you. But you can get pretty much any kind of Asian thing. If it meats, oh my God, like their pork belly, so good. They have so many good things. And the downside of some of the, like Chin Market is great, but like for hot pot, and again, I'm gonna do a whole video about this. If you want to see like the weird long bonus, here's us making hot pot in the backyard, because I think it's probably pretty entertaining. I don't know how appetizing it's gonna look because it's a giant mess, but it should be pretty entertaining. Because also the baby screams and freaks out a few times, and it is adorable. So there's lots of cute baby stuff. But anyway, we don't make hot pot the way that we would in China. But we don't buy that thinly shaved rolled meat.
I kind of want to have that one day.
I do want to have it. I don't dislike it, but
I
let
think
me finish I'm trying to say that we don't get it specifically because it's imported from China, and it's like Chinese. It's not good quality Chinese meat, and it's frozen. That's what I was trying to.
Yeah.
I should just let her interrupt me. I don't remember when she has the thought, because otherwise we'll try that.
We can try. The machine.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we can get one of those.
Like shave the meat ourselves and then roll it up.
Cutting the sausages.
The
salamis.
Yeah.
We can get one of that and to cut the.
I don't have any. I went to film school. I'm not a butcher, but what are they called? The meat shaver machine. Where you set it for how thick you want it to be. We could do that, where we could probably get like a chunk of beef, chunk of lamb.
About the not liking the local food. So I can't pass the times recommending my food to other people. I remember because I'm from Mongolia, I went to university college in Nanjing. That's South China, so North China to South China. I remember the first year, I brought lots of my my hometown food to my classmates. I brought it's like cheese. It's like cheese, Mongolian cheese, because we have lots of milk dairy product. I brought that, and also brought beef, beef jerks,
Beef jerky, yeah.
beef jerkies to my classmates. But those, it's my classmates doesn't have a thing for that, because these are not their food that they used to eat, like heavily meat and heavily dairy product. So I kind of feel like, I kind of disappointed, because that's a long way to bring. Back then, people just take trains like more than 24
like that. Yeah,
hours.
not the high speed. This is before. This is before the bullet trains.
Yeah, it's up, and I felt like it kind of disappointed. People doesn't like that, and just I realized just that people only like to eat food from their memories, from their the food that they used to eat. So it's normal for Chinese people come here and just feel like European food, white people food is not good. Those are not good food. Chinese food are good food. But I think it's that works the other way around. For Westerners, they probably not used to Chinese food either. I mean, Chinese
not
food,
real Chinese,
not
real
American
Chinese
food. That's
which
that's different
I am a fanatic for.
So basically, I'm just saying Patricia's comments. The Vietnamese girl, I'm sure she made it funny, but I just I understand people only have affections for their own food, because that's something your mom feed you when you were a kid. So I never force people to make them, to convince them that try Chinese food. This is the best food in the world.
Well, and I don't know who loves French food more. We both absolutely love French food, and when we go out, I mean, that's mostly what we eat, and not for lack of options. You can get off at a different stop or walk next door or across the street, and there's a different option. But I mean, we love escargot. I love beef tartare.
Yeah.
She likes, what is that? There's like a tripe stew, which is more like a kind of a Chinese Asian dish to me. It's like it's something that I think
it's a strong.
I think Asian people who come from a culture where you eat where you have organ meat stew would love that French thing. That one's not for me. But I love the andouillette sausage, or if I'm saying that right, which is, I don't really like organ meats, but that big stinky sausage, I get that once in a while.
The sausages can be very stinky.
Yeah. But
and we love so many different cuisines. We love Indian food.
Oh man,
we have Indian food once a week.
When we lived at our old place, there was an Indian place. It's a lot closer to there, and the guy's like our little kind of casual. He's our parasocial friend, like you are. You'll probably be better friends and over time. But yeah, his guy's food is awesome. And he's Pakistani, but he's from the part of Pakistan that's like right near the border. So yeah, he has both cuisines. He has specifically Pakistani stuff, specifically Indian cuisines, because they have a wide cuisine range like China. But he has this stuff, the classics. And then he has a few of these hybrid dishes that only exist that came from anyway where he's from, which is like right on the border.
Yeah, and when we were in Beijing, we just eat any like Korean
barbecue a lot. Great Korean barbecue places.
And my hometown food, we sometimes go to eat the old Indian restaurant.
Yeah.
Used to be one of those most popular places.
Yeah, Beijing's got amazing food. Yeah. China's got amazing food. Beijing has amazing restaurants, and What else did we? Oh, am I deleting your? I might be.
that's
I'm hitting your
it, that's
space
it.
bar. I don't know how to use. I'm a Mac guy. I'm using your Windows laptop. I might have deleted some things here by accident, but we're almost through it now, so that's okay.
Yeah, check your list.
Yeah. So basically, as I did want to mention, I want to appreciate Patricia. Patricia had reminded people, if you we have a lot more coming up, and I'll say this again here because some people might have tuned in late. Language learning and cultural, language and cultural learning is one part of our channel. So there's a lot more coming up on that. But again, we get into practical and logistical issues with moving to France, getting settled, life in France, like visas, housing, bureaucracy. We talk about cost of living, day-to-day things. We talk about, travel both within France and throughout Europe and how convenient that is. And we have a lot of sort of more travel log type videos that we will do over time. We have the footage from the trips. And we talk about parenting abroad. And, that specific subset of people either moving with kids or they want to come here and have a kid. But yeah, so I encourage you, if you're seeing this video coming from Alliance Francaise videos and kind of new to our channel, please check it out, because we're only about a month and 3 or 4 days old as I'm speaking those words. This is a new channel. But, we went into it having watched so many channels that we learned so much from and enjoyed so much. We went into this very seriously and with a real game plan, and ChatGPT helped us organize ourselves. But if no one has any more questions, we'll begin to wrap it up here. So you had some, go ahead. Yeah. What are some of your insights that you had here at the bottom? That right there. So, that's got it. That's a summary of things to talk about. So again, thank you all for coming, and we look forward to seeing you again. Again, we'll do this once a week, and we hope you enjoyed this. We hope that it was entertaining, if not valuable. And we're both pretty, we can be pretty goofy and have fun. We have fun. We have to, or else it'd be hard to get through this life. Yeah. So yeah. Hopefully one day this can be offline, just in the yard, or in here. Yeah. I mean, one day we have availabilities. People are in Paris. If we become La Frenchies light, then if we get to a point where there's enough of a community, we'll definitely host meetups in the city and things, and get to know you before we invite you to the house. No offense, but you would do the same thing. But yes, passez une bonne journée à vous. Au revoir, or a bonne journée, depending on what time of day it is for you. But thank you very much for watching. Yeah. Also, I want to mention that today is Jenny's 19 months birthday, which we decided is a thing to give her a mini birthday every month. Yeah. So we survived another month. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Au revoir. À la prochaine.